Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 is here, and it's time to take a hard look in the mirror. This is your year. Not because of some cosmic alignment or stroke of luck, but because you owe it to yourself to make it count. You owe it to the person who's been grinding, dreaming, and pushing through every obstacle life has thrown at you. I'm Tom Brady, and I'm here to tell you, success isn't about being special, it's about being relentless. I wasn't a first-round draft pick. I was a sixth-round nobody, sitting on the bench, watching others get the spotlight. But I knew one thing: when my shot came, I'd be ready. And I was. I didn't wait for permission or a perfect moment. I worked like every practice was the Super Bowl. I treated every rep like it was game day. And that's what I'm asking you to do in 2025. Treat every single day like it's your Super Bowl. You don't need to be the fastest, the strongest, or the most talented. What you need is discipline. Discipline to wake up early when everyone else is hitting snooze. Discipline to push through when you're tired, when you're doubted, when you're told you're not enough. The truth is, most people give up when it gets hard. But champions show up when it hurts. They show up when they're exhausted. They show up when no one's watching. That's what separates the good from the great. Life is hard. It's hard to chase your dreams when the world feels like it's against you. It's hard to keep going when you're knocked down. Trust me, I've been there. But here's the secret: it's not about avoiding the struggle, it's about embracing it. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every failure is a lesson. You don't get to 7 Super Bowl rings by dodging challenges. You get there by running straight through them. In 2025, stop waiting for someone to save you. No one's coming. Not your boss, not your friends, not even your family. It's on you. You owe it to yourself to stop making excuses. You owe it to yourself to stop blaming others for where you are. You have choices. Every single day, you choose whether to show up, to put in the work, to be consistent. And those choices, they stack up. They build the life you're proud of. I've learned this: success is a team sport, but it starts with you. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who challenge you, who believe in your vision. But at the end of the day, it's your heart, your grit, your determination that carries you across the finish line. I didn't win those Super Bowls alone, but I had to believe in myself before anyone else could. So, what's it gonna be in 2025? Are you going to let this year slip by, or are you going to own it? Are you going to let doubt and fear call the shots, or are you going to take control? This is your moment. This is your shot. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to work harder than anyone else. To be consistent when others quit. To be the one who says, "I'm not done yet." You owe it to yourself to make 2025 the year you stop settling. The year you stop playing small. The year you prove them wrong, not just the doubters out there, but the voice in your head that says you can't. You can. You will. Because when you give everything you've got, when you leave it all on the field, there's no regret. There's only pride. There's only victory. So go out there. Be relentless. Be disciplined. Be the person you know you're capable of becoming. You owe it to you in 2025. Let's make it happen. You stand at the edge of a new year, 2025, staring down a path that's yours to carve. Nobody's going to hand you a map. Nobody's going to clear the obstacles. You are the architect of your own success. This isn't just a catchphrase. It's a call to action. It's a truth I've lived. From a 6th-round draft pick to standing on the biggest stages in football, I'm Tom Brady, and I'm here to tell you that your life, your dreams, your future, they're all in your hands. You owe it to yourself to take charge too. Stop waiting, to own every step of this journey. Think about where you are right now. Maybe you're stuck in a job that feels like a dead end. Maybe you're chasing a dream that seems too big, too far out of reach. Maybe you're looking at others, people who seem to have it all, and wondering why it's not you. Let me tell you something: those people aren't special. They're not smarter, luckier, or more talented than you. What they've done is taken responsibility for their own path. They've stopped waiting for permission. They've stopped hoping someone else will fix their problems. And that's what I'm asking you to do today. When I was a kid, I wasn't the star quarterback. I wasn't the guy everyone bet on. I sat on the bench, watching others get the spotlight, feeling that fire in my gut. But I didn't sulk, I didn't point fingers at the coaches or my teammates. I got to work, I studied film until my eyes burned, I threw passes until my arm ached. I told myself that when my chance came, I'd be ready. And when it did, I didn't hesitate, I grabbed it. That's what taking responsibility looks like. It's not about complaining that life isn't fair, it's about doing the work, day in and day out, to make your moment count. You might be thinking, Tom, it's not that simple. Life throws curveballs, bills pile up, relationships falter, opportunities slip away. I get it, I've had my share of setbacks, I've been doubted, criticized, counted out. But here's the thing, those challenges don't define you. Your response to them does. You can't control what the world throws at you, but you can control how you show up. You can control the effort you put in. You can control the choices you make. Every single day, you're either building your future or letting it slip away. Which one are you choosing? Stop waiting for someone to save you, and no one's coming. Your boss isn't going to magically give you that promotion. Your friends aren't going to drag you to your goals. Even your family, as much as they love you, can't live your life for you. It's on you. You owe it to yourself to stop making excuses. I don't have enough time. I don't have the resources. I'm not ready yet. Those are just stories you tell yourself to stay comfortable. But comfort doesn't build champions. Comfort doesn't create legacies. Discomfort does. Hard work does. Taking responsibility for every single step does. When I stepped onto the field as a starter for the first time, I wasn't thinking about the doubters. I wasn't thinking about the odds stacked against me. I was thinking about the hours I'd put in, the sacrifices I'd made, the belief I had in myself. I knew I'd done the work. I knew I'd prepared. That gave me confidence, not arrogance, but a quiet certainty that I belonged. You need that same certainty in 2025. You need to know, deep in your bones, that you're capable of more than you're giving yourself credit for. But that knowledge doesn't come from wishing, it comes from doing. Taking responsibility means owning your mistakes. Dude, I've thrown interceptions, I've lost games, I've had moments where I didn't live up to my own expectations. But I never let those moments define me. I learned from them. I went back to the film room, back to the practice field, back to the drawing board. Every failure is a teacher if you let it be. Don't run from your missteps, face them. Break them down. Figure out what went wrong and how to make it right. That's how you grow. That's how you turn a setback into a setup for a comeback. You're not just responsible for your effort, you're responsible for your mindset. The voice in your head that says, "You can't do this," shut it down. Replace it with a voice that says, "I'm not there yet, but I'm coming." Surround yourself with people who fuel that fire, who push you to be better, who believe in your potential. But don't rely on them to carry you. They're your team, not your crutch. At the end of the day, it's your heart, your will, your determination that gets you across the finish line. Look at 2025 as a blank playbook. Every day is a new play, a new chance to move the ball forward. You don't need to win the whole game in January. You don't need to have it all figured out by March. But you do need to show up every single day with purpose. You need to make choices that align with the person you want to become. Want to get in shape? Don't wait for the perfect gym or the perfect plan. Start with a walk, a push-up, a single good meal. Want to build a business? Don't wait for the perfect idea. Start with a small step, a conversation, a sketch on a napkin. Want to change your life? Don't wait for a miracle. Start with a decision to take responsibility for it. I didn't win 7 Super Bowls because I was the most talented guy on the field. I won them because I refused to settle. I refused to let someone else's opinion of me become my reality. I refused to let a bad day, a bad game, or a bad season stop me. And I'm asking you to do the same. Refuse to settle for a life that's less than what you're capable of. Refuse to let fear or doubt call the shots. Refuse to let 2025 be another year of what if. Taking responsibility isn't easy, it's heavy. It means carrying the weight of your dreams, your failures, your future. But it's also freeing. Because when you own your journey, you realize you have the power to shape it. You realize that no one else gets to decide who you are or what you can achieve. You realize that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. And those victories, they add up. They build momentum. They create a life you're proud to call your own. So here you are, at the starting line of 2025, the crowd's roaring, the clock's ticking, and the ball's in your hands. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to stand there, waiting for someone to tell you what to do? Or are you going to run the play? Are you going to take the hit, get back up, and keep moving? This is your year. This is your moment. You are the architect of your own success. You owe it to yourself to build something extraordinary. Go out there and make it happen. Success isn't about being the most talented person in the room. It's not about having a gift that sets you apart. It's about discipline, relentless, unyielding discipline. I'm Tom Brady, and I've learned this truth through every snap, every practice, every moment of my career. You owe it to yourself in 2025 to embrace discipline like it's your lifeline. Treat every day with the intensity of a championship game. Because that's what it takes to turn dreams into reality. When I was a 6th-round draft pick, nobody saw me as a future champion. I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, I didn't have the perfect arm or the ideal build. But I had something nobody could take away, a commitment to showing up every single day. I treated every practice like it was the Super Bowl. Every film session like it was the key to victory. Every rep in the gym like it was the final play of the game. That's what discipline looks like. Choosing to give your all, even when no one's watching. You might think discipline is boring. It's not glamorous to wake up at 5 a.m. while others sleep. It's not sexy to say no to distractions when everyone else is saying yes. But let me tell you something. Discipline is freedom. It's the freedom to know you're building something real. It's the freedom to trust that your hard work will pay off. It's the freedom to look in the mirror and know you're not cutting corners. In 2025, you owe it to yourself to find that freedom. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up when you're tired, when you're sore, when you'd rather be anywhere else. I've had days where I didn't want to get out of bed. Days where the playbook felt like a foreign language. Days where the critics' voices were louder than my own. But I showed up anyway. I put in the reps, I studied the film, I did the work. Because I knew that every small effort was a brick in the foundation of something bigger. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Discipline starts small. It's choosing water over soda today. It's writing one page of that book you've been dreaming about. It's running 1 mile when you could have stayed on the couch. Those choices stack up. They compound. They turn into habits that shape who you are and where you're going. And 2025, commit to those small, disciplined choices every single day. Think about the championship games you've seen. The moments that define legacies, they're not won by the team with the most talent. They're won by the team that executes. The team that sticks to the plan. The team that doesn't flinch under pressure. That's what discipline does for you. T prepares you to execute when the moment comes. IT trains you to stay focused when the world is screaming for your attention. T builds the mental toughness to keep going when others quit. I didn't win 7 Super Bowls because I was born with a golden arm. I won them because I was willing to do what others wouldn't. I was willing to wake up early and stay late. I was willing to analyze every play, every mistake, every opportunity. I was willing to push my body and mind beyond what felt comfortable. And you know what? It wasn't always fun. It wasn't always easy. But it was always worth it. Because discipline doesn't just build success, it builds character. In 2025, treat every day like it's your championship game. That doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you bring your best effort every time. T means you don't skip the warm-up because you're tired. You don't half-ass the meeting because you're distracted. You don't let a bad morning ruin your whole day. You show up, fully present, fully committed, ready to give everything you've got. Discipline is also about saying no to the things that pull you off course, no to the people who drain your energy, no to the habits that keep you stuck. I learned early on that I couldn't party all night and expect to perform on the field. I couldn't eat junk and expect my body to hold up. I couldn't let negativity creep into my mind and expect to stay focused, so I made choices. Hard choices. I said no to short-term pleasures for long-term gains. That's what you need to do this year. Say no to what's holding you back. Say yes to what moves you forward. You're going to face resistance. Your brain will tell you to take the easy road. Your friends might call you obsessive. Your doubts might whisper that you're wasting your time. But discipline is your shield against all of that. It's the voice that says, keep going. It's the strength to push through when you want to quit. It's the courage to stay true to your goals. Even when the world feels against you. I've felt that resistance. I've heard the doubts. But I kept going, and that's why I'm standing here today. Let's talk about what discipline looks like in action. It's the student who studies an extra hour instead of scrolling on their phone. It's the entrepreneur who refines their pitch instead of binge-watching a show. It's the parent who makes time for their kids, even after a 12-hour workday. It's the athlete who hits the gym when everyone else is on vacation. It's you, making the choice to do what's hard because you know it's right. And 2025, be that person, the one who shows up, day after day, no matter what. Discipline isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily commitment. It's waking up every morning and choosing to be better than you were yesterday. It's not about motivation. Motivation fades. It's about building a system, a routine, a way of life that carries you through the tough days. For me, That meant a strict diet, a relentless training schedule, a mindset that never settled. For you, it might look different. But the principle is the same. Do the work, every day, no excuses. You're not going to see results right away, that's the hard truth. Discipline is a long game, it's planting seeds today that grow into victories tomorrow. When I was grinding as a backup quarterback, I didn't know when my shot would come. But I knew I had to be ready, so I kept working, kept preparing, kept believing. And when the moment came, I was ready. You need to be ready too. Because your moment is coming in 2025, if you put in the work now. Embracing discipline means rewriting your story. T means taking control of your time, your energy, your focus. T means deciding that you're not going to let another year slip by. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to show up every day with the intensity of a championship game. You owe it to yourself to make 2025 the year you stop waiting and start building. Go out there, embrace discipline, and make it happen. Life is a battlefield, and adversity is the opponent that never quits. Challenges are inevitable. They come for everyone, no matter who you are. I'm Tom Brady, and I faced my share of them, from being a 6th-round draft pick to staring down defeat on the biggest stages. Champions don't avoid adversity. They don't run from it or wish it away. They face it head-on, and they use every setback as fuel for growth. And 2025, you owe it to yourself to work through the hard times, to turn obstacles into opportunities, to become stronger with every hit you take. When I was a kid, I wasn't the guy everyone expected to make it. I sat on the bench, watching others get the glory. I felt the sting of being overlooked, underestimated, counted out. But I didn't let that stop me. I used it. Every doubt, every no, every moment I was told I wasn't good enough, it lit a fire in me. Adversity wasn't my enemy. It was my teacher. It showed me what I was made of. It forced me to dig deeper, to work harder, to prove I belonged. You're going to face your own battles in 2025. Maybe it's a job loss that knocks the wind out of you. Maybe it's a dream that feels like it's slipping away. Maybe it's a personal struggle, health, family, finances, that makes every day feel like a fight. Those moments aren't here to break you, they're here to build you, they're here to show you what you're capable of when you refuse to give up. The question isn't whether adversity will come, it's whether you'll stand up and face it. I've thrown interceptions that cost games, I've lost Super Bowls, I've had seasons where nothing went right, where the critics were loud, and the doubts were louder. But I never let those moments define me. I went back to the film room, I studied what went wrong, I worked on my mechanics, my reads, my mindset. Every failure was a chance to learn, to grow, to come back stronger. That's what adversity does. It hands you a choice. You can let it crush you, or you can let it shape you. In 2025, choose to let it shape you. When life hits you hard, don't duck, don't make excuses, don't blame the refs, the coach, or the play call. Take the hit, get back up, and figure out how to win the next play. That's what champions do. They don't waste energy complaining about what's unfair. They channel that energy into action, into growth, into becoming better than they were before. Adversity is relentless, but so are you. Think about the toughest moments in your life so far. The ones that felt like they'd break you. You're still here, aren't you? You made it through. That's proof you've got what it takes. In 2025, lean into that strength. When the bills pile up, don't hide. Make a plan, take a step, keep moving. When the rejection stings, don't quit, refine your approach, try again, keep pushing. When the path feels impossible, don't stop. Find a way, any way, to keep going. I learned early on that adversity doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your talent or your dreams. It just shows up, uninvited, and tests you. When I got my shot to start for the Patriots, it wasn't because everything went perfectly. It was because I'd been preparing through every setback, every doubt, every moment I could have given up but didn't. Adversity built me. It forced me to be disciplined, to be resilient, to be someone who could handle the pressure of a 2-minute drill. You don't grow when life is easy. You grow when it's hard. You grow when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're one step away from throwing in the towel. Those are the moments that define you. And 2025, don't shy away from those moments. Embrace them. Run toward them. Because every challenge you face is a chance to become the person you're meant to be. Let's talk about what working through adversity looks like. It's the single mom who works 2 jobs but still finds time to study for her degree, the entrepreneur who gets rejected by 100 investors but keeps pitching, the athlete who tears a ligament but spends every day in rehab, fighting to get back. It's you. Choosing to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. That's the kind of grit that turns dreams into reality. Adversity doesn't just test your strength, It tests your character. IT shows you who you are when the spotlight's off, when the crowd's gone home. I've had games where I played terribly, where I let my team down. But I never let those moments be the end of the story. I went back to work, I owned my mistakes, I asked myself, what can I do better? And then I did it. That's what you need to do this year. Own your struggles, learn from them, grow through them. You're not alone in facing adversity. Everyone's got their battles. But what sets champions apart is how they respond. Surround yourself with people who get it, who push you to keep fighting. My teammates, my coaches, they didn't let me wallow in self-pity. They challenged me to step up, to be better, to keep going. Find those people in your life. But remember, at the end of the day, it's your fight. You're the one who has to step into the ring. In 2025, adversity is going to come knocking. IT might be a small setback, a missed deadline, a failed test. IT might be a big one, a loss that shakes your core. Either way, don't let it have the last word. Use it. Let it teach you resilience. Let it show you what you're made of. Let it fuel your growth. Because every time you push through, you're not just surviving, you're becoming unstoppable. Think about a game where the score's tight, the clock's ticking, and the pressure's on. That's when champions shine. Not because they're fearless, but because they've trained themselves to keep moving forward, no matter what. I've been in those moments. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, down by a touchdown. The crowd screaming, the defense is coming, and every eye is on you. You don't win by panicking. You win by staying calm, trusting your preparation, and executing. That's how you need to approach adversity in 2025. Calm, focused, ready to execute. Adversity is your training ground. It's where you build the mental toughness to handle anything. It's where you learn to trust yourself, to believe in your ability to overcome. I didn't win 7 Super Bowls by dodging challenges. I won them by facing them, by working through them, by refusing to let them stop me. And you can do the same. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to keep showing up, keep fighting, keep growing. So when adversity hits this year, don't back down, don't let it scare you, don't let it make you doubt yourself. Face it head on. Use it as fuel. Let it push you to work harder, to think smarter, to be better. You owe it to yourself to make 2025 the year you turn challenges into triumphs. Oh, go out there, work through the adversity, and show the world what you're made of. Opportunities don't come with a warning. They don't send you an invitation or wait for you to feel ready. They show up, often when you least expect them, and they demand you're prepared. I'm Tom Brady, and I learned this the hard way as a 6th-round draft pick, sitting on the bench, waiting for my shot. You owe it to yourself in 2025 to be ready for your moment. Prepare relentlessly, every single day. So when your opportunity comes, you don't just seize it, you own it. When I was drafted in 2000, nobody saw me as a future star. I was pick 199, a long shot, a backup's backup. I watched from the sidelines as others got the reps, the attention, the belief. But I didn't sit there feeling sorry for myself. I didn't wait for someone to hand me the starting job. I got to work. I studied the playbook until I knew it better than anyone. I threw passes until my arms screamed. I stayed late, broke down film, analyzed every detail. I prepared like I was already the starter, even when I wasn't. That's what being ready means. It's not about hoping for a chance. It's about acting like the chance is already here. In 2025, you need to approach every day with that mindset. You might not know when your moment will come. IT could be a job interview that changes your career. IT could be a pitch that lands your dream client. IT could be a single conversation that opens a door. But if you're not ready, if you haven't put in the work, it'll pass you by. Preparation isn't glamorous. It's hours in the gym when you'd rather be sleeping. It's reading one more chapter when your eyes are heavy. Practicing your craft when nobody's clapping. For me, it was throwing routes to receivers after practice. When everyone else had hit the showers, IT was studying defenses until I could predict their moves. IT was building my body and mind to withstand the pressure of the NFL. I didn't do it because it was fun. I did it because I knew my moment was coming. You're going to have moments in 2025 that test you. Moments that ask, are you ready? Maybe it's a presentation you didn't see coming. Maybe it's a crisis that demands you step up. Maybe it's a chance to show the world what you're made of. You can't control when those moments arrive, but you can control how prepared you are. Every choice you make today, every hour you invest, every skill you sharpen, builds the foundation for that moment. Think about the times you've seen someone choke under pressure. They had their shot, but they weren't ready. They hadn't done the work. They hadn't put in the reps. I've been in high-stakes games, fourth quarter, clock ticking, millions watching. The reason I could stay calm, make the throw, lead the drive, was because I'd already done it 1,000 times in practice. I'd visualized it, prepared for it, lived it in my mind. When the moment came, it wasn't new, it was familiar. You need to make your moments familiar. If you're a writer, write every day until the words flow like water. If you're an entrepreneur, refine your pitch until it's second nature. If you're an athlete, train until your body moves without thinking. Whatever your craft, whatever your goal, put in the work now so when the spotlight hits, you're not scrambling, you're shining. And 2025, make preparation your obsession. Being ready isn't just about hard work, it's about smart work. I didn't just throw passes aimlessly. I studied my opponents, learned their tendencies, found their weaknesses. I worked with coaches who pushed me to see the game differently. I surrounded myself with teammates who raised the bar. You need to do the same. Seek out mentors who challenge you. Learn from people who've been where you want to go. Build a circle that makes you better, not one that lets you coast. Preparation also means preparing for failure. I've had bad games, bad throws, bad decisions. But I didn't let those moments derail me. I prepared for them by learning how to bounce back. I studied my mistakes, adjusted my approach, kept moving forward. And 2025, you need to prepare for the setbacks, too. Know that you'll stumble. Know that you'll miss the mark sometimes. But prepare your mind to see those moments as lessons, not endings. Every day is a chance to get ready. You don't need to wait for the perfect conditions. You don't need the best equipment or the biggest stage. Start where you are, with what you have. When I was a backup, I didn't have the starting job, but I had a playbook, I had a practice field, I had a choice to show up and work. You have those same choices in 2025, use them. Start small if you have to, a single step, a single hour, a single effort. Those small steps add up to big moments. I didn't know when my shot would come with the Patriots. I didn't know Drew Bledsoe would get injured, giving me a chance to step in. But I was ready because I'd been preparing for years. I'd been grinding in the shadows, building my skills, sharpening my mind. When the moment came, I didn't hesitate. I stepped up. That's what you need to do this year. Prepare like your moment is tomorrow, because it might be. Being ready means trusting yourself. IT means knowing that you've put in the work, so you can walk into any room, any challenge, with confidence. Not arrogance, confidence. The kind that comes from knowing you've done everything you could. I walked onto the field for my first start with that confidence. Not because I was the best, but because I knew I'd prepared like no one else. You can have that same feeling in 2025, if you commit to the work now. Preparation is a mindset. It's waking up every day and asking, what can I do today to be better? It's saying no to distractions that pull you off course. It's choosing to invest in yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely. For me, it was skipping parties to study film. T was eating clean when others were indulging. T was staying focused when the world wanted my attention. And 2025, make those choices for yourself. Choose preparation over procrastination. Your moment is coming. IT might be a big one, a promotion, a breakthrough, a chance to change your life. IT might be a small one, a conversation, a decision, a step forward. Either way, you need to be ready. You need to have done the work, built the skills, trained your mind. Because when that moment arrives, it won't wait for you to catch up. It'll demand everything you've got, right then and there. So in 2025, prepare relentlessly. Treat every day like it's leading to your Super Bowl. Study, practice, grind, repeat. Build the habits that make you unstoppable. Learn from every mistake, every setback, every doubt. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better. And when your moment comes, because it will, you'll be ready to step up, to deliver, to make it yours. You owe it to yourself to be ready for that moment. Oh, go out there, prepare like a champion, and make it happen. Excuses are the easy way out. They're the stories we tell ourselves when we don't want to face the truth. They're the weight that holds us back from becoming who we're meant to be. I'm Tom Brady, and I've learned this through every challenge, every snap, every moment of my career. And 2025, you owe it to yourself to reject excuses. Stop blaming external circumstances or other people. Your choices shape your future. So choose action over excuses every single day. When I was a sixth-round draft pick, it would have been easy to point fingers. I could have blamed the coaches for not giving me a chance. I could have blamed the scouts for overlooking me. I could have blamed the system for favoring others over me. But I didn't. I knew that blaming others wouldn't get me on the field. IT wouldn't make me better. IT wouldn't change my reality. Oh, I chose to focus on what I could control. My work ethic, my preparation, my mindset. You're going to face moments in 2025 where excuses feel like your only option. The job didn't work out, so you blame the economy. The relationship fell apart, so you blame the other person. The goal feels too far, so you blame your lack of time, money, or resources. But here's the truth. Every time you make an excuse, You're giving away your power, you're letting someone or something else decide your future, you're choosing to stay stuck instead of moving forward. I've had my share of tough breaks, I've been benched, doubted, criticized, I've had games where everything went wrong, where the odds were stacked against me. But I never let myself off the hook by saying, "It's not my fault." I looked in the mirror and asked, "What can I do differently?" I took responsibility for my performance, my mistakes, my growth. That's what rejecting excuses means. It's owning your path, no matter how hard it gets. Your choices are your superpower. Every day, you get to decide how you show up. You decide whether to hit the gym or hit the snooze button. You decide whether to study or scroll through your phone. You decide whether to take a risk or play it safe. Those choices, small and big, are what shape your future. Excuses might feel good in the moment, but they rob you of the chance to build something real. In 2025, stop saying, "I can't because," start saying, "I will, even if." I can't tell you how many times I heard, "You're not big enough, fast enough, talented enough." I could have believed those words, I could have used them as an excuse to give up. But I chose to prove them wrong. I chose to show up early, stay late, and work harder than anyone else. I chose to let my actions speak louder than their doubts. Excuses are a habit, and like any habit, they can be broken. T starts with awareness. Catch yourself when you're about to blame someone else. Catch yourself when you're about to say, "It's too hard," or "I don't have enough." Pause. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now to move forward? Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's writing one sentence of that business plan. Maybe it's taking a walk to clear your head. Whatever it is, do it. Action kills excuses every time. I didn't win 7 Super Bowls because everything went my way. I won them because I refused to let external circumstances define me. When I lost games, I didn't blame my teammates or the refs. I went back to the film room to see what I could improve. When injuries hit, I didn't whine about bad luck. I focused on rehab, on getting stronger, on coming back better. When the critics tore me apart, I didn't hide behind excuses. I used their words as fuel to prove them wrong. You're going to face resistance this year. The world will give you plenty of reasons to quit. Your boss might overlook you. Your bank account might be empty. Your schedule might feel impossible. But those are just circumstances, they're not your destiny. You get to decide what happens next. You get to choose whether to let those obstacles stop you or to push through them. Choose action. Choose to keep moving, even when it's hard. Rejecting excuses means taking ownership of your time. You say you don't have enough hours in the day. We all get the same 24. I've juggled practices, film sessions, workouts, and family life. I've had days where I felt stretched to the breaking point. But I found time for what mattered. I cut out the noise, social media, TV, endless distractions. I prioritized what moved me toward my goals. And 2025, audit your time. Cut the fluff. Make room for the work that matters. It's not just about time, it's about energy. Excuses drain you. They sap your motivation, your focus, your drive. Every time you blame something outside yourself, you're giving away a piece of your power. But when you choose action, you take it back. You feel stronger, clearer, more alive. I felt that every time I stepped onto the field after a tough loss, I wasn't thinking about what went wrong. I was thinking about what I could do next. That's the mindset you need this year. Rejecting excuses also means being honest with yourself. It's easy to fool yourself into thinking you're doing enough. It's easy to say, "I tried, but it didn't work." But did you really try? Did you give it everything you had? Or did you let fear, doubt, or laziness creep in? I've had to ask myself those questions. I've had to face moments where I wasn't all in, where I could have done more. And when I saw that, I didn't make excuses. I got to work. Your future isn't shaped by your circumstances. It's shaped by the choices you make in the face of those circumstances. In 2025, you're going to hit walls. You're going to feel like giving up. You're going to be tempted to say, "It's not my fault." But every time you reject that excuse, every time you choose action instead, you're building something. You're building confidence. You're building resilience. You're building a future you can be proud of. Think about the people you admire. The ones who've achieved greatness. They didn't get there by blaming others. They didn't get there by waiting for the perfect moment. They got there by taking responsibility for their own path. They chose to act, to push, to keep going, no matter what stood in their way. That's what I did, and that's what you can do. I wasn't the most talented, but I chose to outwork everyone else. I chose to show up. Even when it hurt, I chose to reject excuses and take control. In 2025, make that same choice. When you're tired, choose to keep going. When you're scared, choose to take the leap. When you fail, choose to learn instead of blame. Every action you take is a brick in the foundation of your future. Every excuse you reject is a step toward your goals. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to choose action every single day. Go out there, reject the excuses, and shape the future you deserve. Nobody wins alone. You can have all the talent, all the drive, but without the right people around you, it's a tougher climb. I'm Tom Brady, and I've learned this through every game, every season, every step of my journey. In 2025, you owe it to yourself to surround yourself with support. Build a team of people who inspire you, who challenge you, who push you to be better. But never forget, your belief in yourself is the foundation. It's the bedrock that everything else stands on. When I was a 6th-round draft pick, I wasn't surrounded by cheerleaders telling me I'd be a star. Most people didn't even notice me. But I found the right people, coaches who saw my potential, teammates who pushed me in practice, mentors who taught me the game. They didn't carry me to 7 Super Bowl rings. They gave me the tools, the environment, the challenge to grow. And I leaned into it because I believed in myself first. That's what you need to do this year. Find your team, but trust your own heart to lead the way. The people you surround yourself with matter. They can lift you up or drag you down. I've seen it on the field. Teammates who show up ready to work make everyone better. Teammates who complain, who slack, who don't care, they pull the whole team back. It's the same in life. If you're around people who are negative, who doubt your dreams, who settle for less, you'll feel that weight. But if you're around people who inspire you, who hold you accountable, who believe in what's possible, you'll rise. In 2025, be intentional about your circle. Seek out those who make you want to be better. Find the coach who doesn't let you coast. Find the friend who calls you out when you're slacking. Find the mentor who's walked the path you're on and can show you the way. I was lucky early on to have coaches like Bill Belichick, who demanded excellence. Teammates like Randy Moss, who pushed me to match their intensity. They didn't let me settle. And I didn't let myself settle either. But here's the thing, support isn't about blind praise. It's not about people telling you you're great all the time. Real support challenges you. It's the teammate who runs the route again because you missed the throw. It's the friend who asks, "Are you really giving this everything?" It's the mentor who points out your weaknesses, not to tear you down, but to help you grow. In 2025, seek out those kinds of people, the ones who make you uncomfortable in the best way. Building your team takes effort. IT means putting yourself out there. IT means being vulnerable, asking for help, seeking advice. When I was young, I wasn't afraid to ask questions. I'd sit with veteran quarterbacks, pick their brains, learn their tricks. I'd watch how they carried themselves, how they prepared. You need to do the same. Reach out to someone you admire. Ask for feedback. Listen, learn, apply. Your team doesn't have to be big, but it has to be real. Your support system isn't just about who's around you. It's about what they bring out in you. I've had moments where I doubted myself, where the pressure felt too heavy. But my teammates, my coaches, my family, they reminded me who I was. Not by coddling me, but by pushing me. They believed in me, but more importantly, they helped me believe in myself. That's what you need in 2025. People who amplify your belief, not replace it. Because here's the truth, your belief in yourself is the foundation. Nobody can give that to you. I could have had the best coaches, the best teammates, but if I didn't believe I could be great, none of it would have mattered. When I stepped onto the field as a starter, I wasn't thinking about what others thought of me. I was thinking about the work I'd put in, the hours I'd spent, the trust one had in myself. That belief carried me through the noise, the doubts, the pressure. In 2025, you need to build that belief. IT starts with small wins. Show up for yourself every day. Keep the promises you make to yourself. If you say you're going to work out, do it. If you say you're going to finish that project, finish it. Every time you follow through, you're proving to yourself that you're capable. That's how belief grows. Not from what others say, but from what you do. Your support system should fuel that belief, not create it. I've had people in my life who didn't get it, who thought my goals were too big. I didn't argue with them. I didn't let their doubts become mine. I surrounded myself with others who saw what I saw, who believed in the grind as much as I did. You need to do the same. Distance yourself from the naysayers. Find the people who share your hunger, who push you to keep going. Building a team doesn't mean you're weak. IT means you're smart. Nobody gets to the top alone. I didn't win Super Bowls by myself. I had linemen blocking, receivers catching, coaches strategizing. But I had to do my part. I had to show up prepared, focused, ready to lead. And 2025, lean on your team, but don't lean too hard. They're there to support you, not carry you. Think about what a championship team looks like. Everyone knows their role. Everyone brings their best. Everyone pushes each other to be better. That's the kind of team you need in your life. Not people who let you slide, who tell you what you want to hear. People who challenge you to step up, to dig deeper, to aim higher. I've had teammates who'd call me out if I missed a read. Coaches who'd make me run the play again until it was perfect. That's the kind of support that builds champions. In 2025, be ruthless about who you let into your circle. If someone's dragging you down, cut them loose. If someone's holding you back, step away. It's not about being cold. It's about protecting your dreams. Your time, your energy, your belief, they're too valuable to waste. Surround yourself with people who make you better, who make you want to show up every day. But always come back to yourself. Your belief is the spark that starts it all. I believed I could be a starter. Even when I was fourth stringed, I believed I could win. Even when we were down by double digits, I believed in my work, my preparation, my heart. That belief was my foundation, and my team built on it. And 2025, build your foundation first. Believe in your ability to grow, to overcome, to achieve. Then find the people who help you make it happen. Your team doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to have all the answers. They just need to be in your corner, pushing you, believing in you, challenging you. And you need to be in your own corner, too. You need to show up for yourself, day after day, with the belief that you're capable of more. So go out there, build your team, strengthen your belief, and make 2025 the year you rise. Talent might get you noticed, but it's consistency that gets you to the top. You don't need to be the most gifted person in the room to win. You just need to show up, day after day, with relentless determination. I'm Tom Brady, and I've lived this truth through every practice, every game, every season of my career. In 2025, you owe it to yourself to choose consistency over talent. Outwork everyone else with a commitment that never wavers. That's how you build a life you're proud of. When I was drafted in the 6th round, nobody thought I was special. I wasn't the fastest quarterback. I didn't have the strongest arm. I wasn't the guy everyone bet on to lead a franchise. But I had something more powerful than raw talent. I had consistency. I showed up early, stayed late, and put in the work every single day. I studied film until my eyes burned. I threw passes until my shoulder ached. I didn't rely on being gifted. I relied on being relentless. Talent is a spark, but consistency is the fire. Plenty of people have talent. They're the ones who shine bright for a moment, then fade. They rely on their natural gifts, thinking that's enough. But it's not. The world is full of talented people who never make it because they lack consistency. They skip the hard days. They cut corners. They let distractions win. And 2025. Don't be that person. Be the one who shows up, no matter what. Consistency isn't flashy. It's not about grand gestures or viral moments. It's about doing the small things over and over until they add up. For me, it was waking up at the same time every morning. T was sticking to a diet that fueled my body. Even when I craved junk, T was reviewing the same plays until I could run them in my sleep. Those habits, those daily choices, they built the foundation for 7 Super Bowl rings. You don't need to be a prodigy to succeed in 2025. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most charismatic. You just need to be the one who keeps going. The one who writes 1 page every day until the book is done. The one who runs 1 mile every morning until it's a marathon. The one who makes 1 call, 1 pitch, 1 effort every day until the deal is closed. Consistency turns small actions into big results. I've seen it on the field. Players with more talent than me who didn't last. They had the speed, the arm, the hype. But they didn't have the discipline to show up every day. They didn't have the determination to push through the grind. I outlasted them because I was consistent. I didn't take days off. I didn't let a bad practice derail me. I kept working, kept improving, kept moving forward. In 2025, make consistency your superpower. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. You're going to have days when you feel off, when you're tired, when you don't want to do the work. Do it anyway. I've had mornings where I didn't want to get out of bed. Practices where I felt like I was going backward. But I showed up. I put in the reps. I trusted that every effort was building something bigger. Consistency is about trust. Trust in the process. Trust in yourself. When I was a backup, I didn't know when my chance would come. But I trusted that if I kept working, kept preparing, kept showing up, I'd be ready. And I was. When I got my shot, it wasn't talent that carried me, it was the years of consistent effort. And 2025, trust that your daily grind is leading somewhere. Even if you can't see the finish line yet, keep running. It's easy to think talent is the answer. You look at someone who's succeeding and think, they're just gifted. But what you don't see is the work behind the scenes. The hours they put in when nobody was watching. The days they showed up when it wasn't fun. I wasn't born with a golden arm, but I built one through thousands of throws. I wasn't born a leader, but I became one through years of showing up for my team. In 2025, focus on what you can control. You can't control your natural gifts, but you can control your effort. You can control how many hours you put in. You can control how you respond to setbacks. Every day, you get to choose consistency over excuses. You get to choose determination over distraction. Those choices are what separate the good from the great. Consistency builds momentum. It's like pushing a boulder down a hill. At first, it's hard, but once it starts rolling, nothing can stop it. Every time you show up, you're adding to that momentum. Every time you do the work, you're getting stronger, sharper, closer to your goal. I felt that momentum every season, every game, every practice. Each one built on the last, until I was unstoppable. You don't need to overhaul your life to be consistent. Start small. Pick one thing, one habit, one goal, and commit to it. If you want to get fit, do 10 push-ups every day. If you want to start a business, write one idea every night. If you want to learn a skill, practice for 10 minutes every morning. Those small, consistent actions will grow into something bigger than you can imagine. I've seen what happens when you let consistency slip. I've had teammates who started strong but faded because they couldn't sustain the effort. They'd skip workouts, miss film sessions, let one bad day turn into a bad week. I refused to be that guy. Even after a loss, I was back in the gym, back in the film room, back to work. And 2025, refuse to let a bad day derail you. Get back to work, no matter what. Consistency also means staying true to your vision. There will be people who tell you to slow down, to take it easy, to settle. Don't listen. I had doubters who thought I'd never be more than a backup. I didn't argue with them. I just kept working. I stayed consistent with my goals, my habits, my belief in myself. You need to do the same. Know what you want, and let every day's effort move you closer to it. Determination is the fuel for consistency. It's what keeps you going when the work feels pointless, when the results aren't there yet. I didn't see the payoff of my hard work in my first year, or even my second. But I kept going because I was determined to prove what I could do. And 2025, let determination drive you. Let it push you through the long nights, the early mornings, the moments when you want to quit. Consistency isn't about being the most talented, it's about being the most committed. It's about showing up when others don't. It's about doing the work when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's thankless. That's how you outwork everyone else. That's how you turn dreams into reality. So in 2025, choose consistency. Choose determination. Choose to show up every single day and build the future you deserve. Doubt is a powerful force. A T comes from others, whispering you're not good enough. T comes from within, creeping into your mind when you're alone. I'm Tom Brady, and I faced both kinds of doubt, external and internal, throughout my career. And 2025, you owe it to yourself to prove the doubters wrong. Use skepticism from others, and even your own self-doubt, as fuel to push harder. Let it drive you to achieve more than anyone thought possible. When I was a 6th-round draft pick, nobody believed in me. Scouts called me too slow, too weak, not built for the NFL. Coaches overlooked me, teammates barely noticed me. I was pick 199, a nobody in a world of superstars. But I didn't let their skepticism define me. I used it. Every doubt, every snub, every time someone said I'd never make it, it lit a fire in my gut. I turned their words into motivation to work harder than anyone else. You're going to hear doubters in 2025. Maybe it's a boss who doesn't see your potential. Maybe it's a friend who thinks your dreams are too big. Maybe it's a family member who says, "Be realistic." Their words can sting, but they don't have to stop you. You can let them crush you, or you can let them fuel you. I chose to let them fuel me. Every time someone doubted me, I went back to the film room, the practice field, the gym. I let their skepticism push me to prove them wrong. But the hardest doubt to overcome isn't from others, it's from yourself. Those quiet moments when you wonder if you're good enough. When you question whether you have what it takes. I've been there. I've lain awake at night, replaying mistakes, wondering if I could really compete at the highest level. But I learned to talk back to that voice. I told it, "You're wrong." And then I proved it, not with words, but with action. In 2025, you'll face that same inner voice. It'll tell you your goals are too big, your skills too small, your chances too slim. Don't listen. Use that self-doubt as a challenge. Let it push you to get up earlier, work longer, dig deeper. Every time you silence that voice with effort, you're proving to yourself what you're capable of. You're building a belief that's stronger than any doubt. Proving the doubters wrong isn't about revenge. It's not about rubbing it in their faces. It's about showing yourself what you can do. When I stepped onto the field as a starter, I wasn't thinking about the scouts who passed on me. I was thinking about the hours I'd put in, the work I'd done, the belief I'd built. Proving them wrong was a byproduct. The real victory was proving to myself that I belonged. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself and surround yourself with a few who do. I had coaches who saw something in me, teammates who pushed me, family who backed me. But their belief wouldn't have mattered if I didn't believe in myself first. And 2025, find your allies, but let your own belief be the engine. Let the doubter's words be the fuel that keeps it running. Skepticism from others can be a gift if you use it right. When people doubt you, they're giving you a chance to show what you're made of. I've had critics tear me apart, calling me a system quarterback, saying I'd never win without a great team. I didn't argue with them, went to work, I studied harder, trained longer, prepared better. Every Super Bowl ring was an answer to those doubts, but more importantly, it was a testament to my effort. Self-doubt is trickier. It's not as loud as a critic, but it's more persistent. T sneaks in when you fail, when you're tired, when you're alone. I've felt it after bad games, after interceptions, after losses. But I learned to use it. I'd ask myself, why do I feel this way? Then I'd break it down, watch the film, find the mistake, fix it. Self-doubt became my teacher, not my enemy. And 2025, let your doubts teach you. Let them show you where you need to grow. Proving the doubters wrong starts with action. You can't just wish for them to be wrong, you have to show it. When I was told I'd never be a starter, I didn't sulk. I got to the gym, I studied the playbook, I threw passes until my arm felt like it would fall off. Every rep, every hour, was a step toward proving them wrong. And 2025, take those steps. Don't talk about what you'll do it. Let your work be your response. The doubters will always be there. Even after I won my first Super Bowl, people said it was a fluke. After my fourth, they said it was the system. After my seventh, some still found reasons to doubt. But I didn't let their voices stop me. I kept working, kept improving, kept proving them wrong, not for them, but for me. And 2025, don't let the doubters stop you. Keep going, not to prove a point, but to prove your potential. Every doubt you face is an opportunity. It's a chance to show what you're made of. It's a chance to push harder, to go further, to achieve more. I turned every "you can't" into a reason to say, watch me. You can do the same. When someone says you're not enough, use it to fuel your next workout, your next project, your next step. When your own mind whispers doubt, use it to drive you to the next level. In 2025, make proving the doubters wrong your mission. Not out of anger, but out of purpose. Every time you push through a tough day, you're proving them wrong. Every time you choose effort over excuses, you're proving them wrong. Every hunting you get back up after a fall, you're proving them wrong. And most importantly, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more. The world loves to doubt. IT loves to put limits on what's possible. But you don't have to accept those limits. I didn't. I took every doubt, every criticism, and turned it into motivation. I worked harder, prepared better, stayed focused. And with every step, I built a career that nobody saw coming. You can build something nobody sees coming in 2025. You just have to use the doubt as your fuel. So when the skeptics speak, listen. Not to believe them, but to let their words push you. When your own doubts creep in, face them. Not to agree with them, but to prove them wrong with your actions. Every day is a chance to show what you're made of. Every effort is a step towards silencing the noise. In 2025, embrace the doubters, embrace your doubts, and let them drive you to greatness. Regret is a heavy weight. It's the sting of knowing you could have done more, tried harder, given everything. I'm Tom Brady, and I've spent my life chasing a simple goal, to leave it all on the field. In 2025, you owe it to yourself to live without regret. Give everything you've got, every ounce of effort, every drop of heart, so you can look back with pride, knowing you held nothing back. When I was a 6th-round draft pick, I didn't know if I'd ever get my shot. I was a long shot, a backup, a nobody in the eyes of most. But I decided early on that no matter what happened, I wouldn't look back and wish I'd worked harder. I gave every practice my all. I studied film like my life depended on it. I trained my body to withstand anything. I didn't want to wonder, what if? I wanted to know I'd done everything I could. That's what living without regret means. It's not about being perfect or winning every time. It's about knowing you gave it everything. And 2025, you're going to have moments that test you. Moments that ask for more than you think you have. Don't hold back. Pour yourself into your work, your dreams, your relationships. Leave nothing in the tank. I've played in games where we were down, the clock was ticking, and the odds were against us. Those were the moments I lived for. Not because I knew we'd win, but because I knew I'd give everything I had. I'd scramble, throw, fight until the final whistle. Win or lose, I walked off the field with no regrets because I left it all out there. That's the mindset you need this year. Play every day like it's the fourth quarter. Regret comes from the things you don't do, the chances you don't take, the effort you don't give. I could have stayed comfortable as a backup, coasting through practices, waiting for a break. But I didn't. I pushed myself to the limit, even when nobody expected it. In 2025, don't wait for permission, don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the shot, make the move, do the work. You'll never regret trying. You'll regret not trying. Living without regret means owning your choices. You're going to face tough calls this year. Maybe it's leaving a job that's holding you back. Maybe it's starting a project that scares you. Maybe it's having a hard conversation with someone you love. Whatever it is, make the choice and give it everything. I chose to keep grinding, even when the odds were stacked against me. Those choices led to 7 Super Bowl rings, but more importantly, they led to a life I'm proud of. You don't need to be the best to live without regret. You just need to be all in. I wasn't the most talented quarterback in the NFL. I didn't have the strongest arm or the fastest legs. But I gave everything I had. Every day I studied harder, trained longer, prepared better. When I look back, I don't wish I'd done more. I know I gave it my all. In 2025, give your all. No matter what you're chasing. The grind isn't always fun. There were days I didn't want to get up at 5 a.m. days I didn't want to lift weights or watch another hour of film. But I did it because I didn't want to live with the regret of cutting corners. Every time you push through the discomfort, you're banking pride for the future. You're building a story you can look back on and say, I gave it everything. In 2025, think about the person you want to be when you look back. Do you want to be someone who played it safe, who held back, who let fear win? Or do you want to be someone who went for it, who fought, who left it all on the field? I chose the second path. Every sprint, every throw, every sacrifice was a choice to live without regret. Make that choice for yourself this year. Living without regret also means being present. You can't give your all if you're distracted, if you're half in. I've been in high-pressure games where the crowd was roaring, the stakes were sky high. The only way to perform was to be fully there, focused, locked in, giving every moment my best. And 2025, show up fully. Put down the phone, tune out the noise, and give your work, your people, your goals everything you've got. Regret often comes from missed opportunities. I've seen players who had the talent but didn't seize their moment. They hesitated, doubted, held back. When their shot came, they weren't ready, and they carried that regret. I refused to let that be me. When my chance came to start for the Patriots, I was ready because I'd given everything to prepare. And 2025, prepare like your moment is coming, because it is. You're going to fail sometimes. I've thrown interceptions, lost games, fallen short. But I never regretted those moments because I knew I'd given my all. Failure stings, but it's easier to live with when you know you didn't hold back. And 2025, don't fear failure. Fear the regret of not trying. Go all in. Even if it means you might fall, you'll learn, you'll grow, and you'll move forward with no what-ifs. Living without regret means valuing your time. You only get so many days, so many chances. I treated every practice like it could be my last. Every game like it was the Super Bowl. That mindset kept me from wasting time, from phoning it in. And 2025, treat your time like it's precious. Don't waste it on things that don't matter. Invest it in what moves you closer to your goals, what makes you proud. Your effort is your legacy. When I look back on my career, it's not just the wins I'm proud of, it's the fact that I gave everything. Every day, every season, every play. That's what I want for you in 2025. Not a perfect year, not a flawless record, but a year where you can say, I left it all out there. A year where you look back and feel pride, not regret. Think about the moments that define a game. The fourth quarter drives, the clutch plays, the times when it all comes down to heart. Those are the moments you live for, the ones you'll remember. Life is full of those moments, too. The times when you have to dig deep, push harder, give more. And 2025, live for those moments. Embrace them. Give them everything you've got. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be the best at everything. You just need to show up and give your all. That's what I did, day after day, year after year. It wasn't always pretty, but it was always full effort. And that effort built a career, a life, I can look back on with pride. So in 2025, go all in. Live without regret. Leave it all on the field, and build a year you'll never forget.